I have spent most of my life overthinking. If you had told me that this could be a problem, I would have said, "What are you talking about? Doesn't everybody do this?" Then when I learned that, yes, too much thinking can actually be a problem, I didn't want to believe it because that meant I had a problem. So many of us think we're overthinkers, but we don't realize how much damage it's doing to our lives until it's too late. And it's so hard to stop because overthinking is like a runaway train. Once you start going down that road, it's really hard to stop yourself. The more you try to stop thinking about something, the harder it seems to be. But then once you stop fighting it and you give up and you allow your mind to wander wherever it wants, the thoughts come to a stop. But that is not always a good thing because sometimes those thoughts will keep you from ever achieving anything. So sometimes it is important to have the self-control to stop yourself from overthinking things because otherwise it will stop you from taking action. And action is the key to success. When you look at high achievers, they don't spend their time overthinking things. They make decisions quickly and they execute quickly. They don't get bogged down in all the what-ifs and the negative outcomes that could possibly happen. They move forward with whatever they are doing because they know that the only way to succeed is to keep moving. We need to learn from these people. We need to learn how to make decisions quickly and stick with them. There's a quote that says, "Don't think too much. Just shoot." And I love that quote because it's so true. When we overthink things, we're trying to perfect them. We want everything to be just right. But perfection doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect plan or a perfect decision. All we're doing is setting ourselves up for failure. Because inevitably something will go wrong and our plans will fall apart. And then we'll be left feeling disappointed and discouraged. We need to learn to let go of the need for perfection and just shoot. Take the shot. Make the decision and live with the consequences. That's how we learn and grow. That's how we become more resilient. So if you're struggling with overthinking, know that you're not alone. It's a common problem that affects all of us at some point in our lives. But also know that there is hope. You can learn to control your thoughts and prevent them from getting out of hand. With some practice and self-awareness, you can learn to recognize the signs of overthinking and stop yourself before you go too far down the rabbit hole. It can be difficult to know when you've crossed the line from normal thinking to overthinking. However, here are a few signs that you may be stuck in a loop of unproductive thoughts. Do you constantly question yourself? Perhaps you are plagued by doubts and insecurities that hold you back from taking risks or pursuing your goals. Do you worry excessively? If you find yourself constantly worrying about all sorts of unlikely outcomes, you might be overthinking things. Are you indecisive? Another sign that you may be overthinking is if you have trouble making decisions. You may feel paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice and end up spending too much time trying to weigh all the options. Do you ruminate on the past? If you can't let go of past mistakes or regrets and find yourself constantly ruminating about them, you may be overthinking things. Lastly, do you anticipate problems? Seeing problems everywhere and assuming the worst will happen is a sign that you may be overthinking things. If you tend to focus on the negative and assume that things will go wrong, you may be overthinking things. If you relate to these signs, you may be wondering how you can stop overthinking. Here are a few tips to help you gain control over your thoughts. Minimize distractions. One way to stop overthinking is to minimize distractions. When we're bored or have nothing to do, our minds have a tendency to wander and we start overthinking things. So find ways to keep yourself busy and engaged. This could be through hobbies, exercise, or spending time with friends and family. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation can be powerful tools in helping you stop overthinking. These practices teach you to focus on the present moment without judgment and can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. By learning to observe your thoughts without judgment, you can start to break the cycle of overthinking. Challenge your thoughts. When you notice yourself overthinking, challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself if they're rational and if there's evidence to support them. Oftentimes our thoughts aren't based on reality and we just need to step back and challenge them. This can help you stop overthinking and make more rational decisions. Prioritize self-care. Taking care of yourself can help you stop overthinking. When you're stressed or exhausted, your mind is more likely to wander and you're more likely to overthink things. So make sure to get enough sleep, eat healthy and exercise regularly. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries can help you stop overthinking by giving you a clear sense of what you will and won't tolerate. This could be in your personal or professional life. By setting boundaries, you are able to reduce the amount of stress in your life and focus on the things that matter most. Overthinking can be a habit that's hard to break, but it's important to try because it can have negative effects on your mental health and well-being. By understanding the signs of overthinking and practicing the tips above, you can start to gain control over your thoughts and break the cycle of overthinking. Remember that it takes time and practice to change habits, but with persistence, you can learn to think more positively and productively. Don't let overthinking hold you back. Take charge of your thoughts and live a more positive and fulfilling life. Thanks for watching. See you next time.